Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you think becoming a truck driver in America is just about getting a visa and hopping into the cab of a big rig, well, you're kind of already behind. Thousands of people are out there wasting literally years of their lives chasing fake agents and empty promises. But meanwhile, other people are quietly entering the industry, getting legal training, securing their licenses, and actually starting to earn in dollars. So today, we're cutting through the noise, we are focusing squarely on the reality of the situation and breaking the whole process down, step by step, for someone living in Kenya right now.
Seriously, what if one single decision made this year could completely change your income for the next 10 years? Because in the next few minutes, you're going to see the exact, real process that Kenyans use to become U.S. truck drivers legally. We'll dive into how much it actually costs, the stuff nobody tells you about visas, and how some drivers go from really struggling locally to earning more in a single month than they used to make in an entire year.
So, here's our roadmap for today's masterclass. We'll cover the demand and the danger, visa realities for Kenyans, CDL and English requirements, real costs and earnings, spotting and avoiding scams, and finally, your smart success strategy. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the demand and the danger.
Okay, so the foundation of this entire opportunity is an undeniable labor gap. Right now, the U.S. trucking industry is facing a massive shortage of between 60,000 and 80,000 drivers. I mean, trucking is the absolute backbone of America's supply chain. It's literally how food, fuel, and all those online deliveries actually move from point A to point B. And with an aging domestic workforce, foreign-born drivers now account for nearly 1 in 6 U.S. truck drivers. But you know, where there's massive demand, predators aren't far behind.
And this brings us to the absolute biggest mistake people make. You might have actually seen those recent headlines floating around about a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, between the state of Nebraska and Kenya. While social media instantly spun this into wild rumors that the doors were just thrown wide open. But here's the reality check. A state-level agreement absolutely does not bypass strict federal U.S. immigration laws. So many applicants end up paying so-called agents based on these hyped-up rumors, only to hit a massive brick wall. At the end of the day, you still need a federally approved visa. There are zero shortcuts here.
Moving on to Section 2, Visa Realities for Kenyans. There is so much talk online right now about the H-2B temporary visa for truck drivers. But here is the critical fact you need to know. Based on active Department of Homeland Security listings, Kenya is currently excluded from the H-2B program. You are categorically ineligible for it. So, what is the actual legal way? Well, the primary route is employment sponsorship through the EB-3 visa. This is a permanent green card. Now, it takes extreme patience, usually 12 to 24 months, but it is the real, legal, and viable path.
And let me point out another hugely important piece of federal compliance taking effect in March 2026. Attempting to enter the U.S. and use asylum, TPS, or temporary employment authorization documents to get a commercial driver's license, that is a total dead end. Under the new rules, those statuses are strictly prohibited from obtaining or renewing a CDL. You absolutely must have a permanent status like the green card provided by that EB-3 pathway we just talked about.
All right, Section 3, CDL and English requirements.
So let's say you make it to the U.S. The thing is, the U.S. does not recognize Kenyan commercial licenses. You can't just swap yours out. Every single immigrant has to start from scratch to get their U.S. commercial driver's license, or CDL. First up, you have to pass a strict DOT medical exam. Then, you'll take written knowledge tests for your learner's permit. After that, federal law actually requires entry-level driver training, which involves authorized theory and behind-the-wheel instruction. And only then can you take the final road skills test. It's a whole process. And here is something that trips up so many applicants. English matters way more than people think. Listen, this isn't just a nice-to-have preference. It is a strictly enforced federal safety mandate. As a driver, you're going to be communicating with police, dispatchers, warehouse workers, and DOT inspectors constantly. On top of that, all CDL written and skills testing must be conducted exclusively in English. So good English isn't just for conversation. It's a hard legal requirement that literally keeps you safe on the road.
Section 4, Real Costs and Earnings.
Now, we have to be incredibly direct about the upfront financial investment here because it is heavy. Executing an EB-3 immigrant visa petition requires serious capital. Between recruitment agencies, legal fees, flights, housing, and CDL testing fees, your out-of-pocket costs can range anywhere from $12,500 to upwards of $40,000.
and often this includes administrative deposits and structured deductions once you actually start working. So to be clear, you really cannot do this on a shoestring budget.
But let's contrast that heavy upfront cost with the potential return. The median annual wage for heavy and tractor-trailer truck drivers in the U.S. is just over $57,000. And remember, pay scales vary a lot depending on the state, the company you work for, your experience level, and the miles you drive. Specialized roles can pay significantly more than that too. So, if you can successfully navigate the legal system, there's a very real, long-term income opportunity here.
Section 5. Spotting and avoiding scams.
Because of the high demand and the money involved, this landscape is unfortunately crawling with predators. You have got to avoid fake recruiters who demand massive amounts of cash up front without any transparent legal contracts. And never, ever trust promises of guaranteed visas. Literally, no one can guarantee a U.S. visa except the U.S. government, period. Run far away from anyone offering illegal document shortcuts. And, as we established a minute ago, if an agent asks you to pay for an H-2B visa application from Kenya, it is 100% a scam.
So even if you do everything right and avoid the scams, you still have to pass the ultimate test. Why do seemingly legitimate EB-3 applicants still get rejected during their consular interview at the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi?
Well, consular officers are trained to look for very specific red flags. They will reject you if you can't detail your exact job offer, the hiring carrier, and your expected wage. If they detect language deficiencies, boom, they will deny the visa based on safety regulations. What about discrepancies in your application history? That gets flagged as misrepresentation. And if they even suspect that you just want a green card and have zero intention of actually driving a truck, you will be denied. Absolute honesty and intense preparation are literally your only defenses here.
Which brings us to Section 6, the Smart Success Strategy. Okay, here is your actionable roadmap. First things first, learn English seriously. And I mean both conversational English and specific trucking terminology. Next, secure and maintain a perfectly clean driving record back home in Kenya. Rely strictly on official government channels and licensed immigration attorneys for your paperwork. Target U.S. employers who actually have established experience with EB-3 sponsorship. Do your research on accredited CDL schools, and above all else, you have to build extreme patience for that 12 to 24-month wait. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I really want you to absorb this next point. America rewards preparation, not just dreams alone. The people who actually succeed in the trucking industry are usually not the loudest ones bragging on social media. They're the ones who quietly take the time to understand the systems, follow the legal processes, improve their skills, and stay disciplined long after that initial burst of motivation disappears. Before we wrap up today, I need to share a critical disclaimer. This explainer is strictly for educational purposes and is not legal immigration advice. Immigration laws, CDL rules, and work requirements change over time, and they can vary by state and employer. You must always verify information through official U.S. government websites, licensed immigration attorneys, accredited CDL schools, and qualified professionals before making any financial or legal decisions.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to stop chasing rumors and shortcuts and start actually building your 10-year plan? The legal pathway is absolutely there for those who are willing to put in the hard work. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today. Stay focused, stay informed, and I'll catch you next time.